Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I say to Miss Shahira. As of today, my team and my teammates are Emran, Tarshinee, and Nurulain Nabilah. We'll be presenting about our mini research proposal. The topic that we chose for this mini research proposal is listening to music while studying and its effects on academic performance.
Okay, this is our cover page. 1.0 Introduction. Nowadays, the regular routine for individuals has been overtaken by the community. Mainly, undergraduates they listen to music while studying and working on tasks. This is because when they want to do their work, they want something that is calming for them to accompany it by. So they listen to music. Music helps students to stay calm while handling a difficult task. Some music can make them feel calm because of its slow jam, and for some students they can make the task a little more easier when they listen to music that they prefer. It can also widen students' awareness and sentence structure. Indeed, music plays a major role in students' life where it gives impact on their academic performance. 2.0 Statements of Problem. Nowadays, students are distracted while studying where they tend to do multitasking. While listening to music, they tend to multitasking because listening to music and studying is two works, and that's why concentration is an important element in learning which will give impact on student academic performance. Distractions can lead students to lose their concentration and fail in their academic performance. Moreover, we have found out that one of the distractions while studying is listening to music. There are numerous reasons why some students prefer listening to music while studying. The reasons are: first, they make the task even more easier if they listen to music. Second, they will feel more calm. Third, they will feel less stressed when they listen to music. Some music can make them feel calm. There have been misconceptions about this issue. Some students believe that music can help them to focus well when studying, but for some students, music can also make them feel very distracted. Music can also lead to bad concentration toward other students and can procrastinate their work to be even delayed than it should be. When they listen to music, they tend to be distracted and they sometimes drifted away from the time and just listen to music and forget about what they should have done, especially their assignment. Students who studies in a quiet environment without listening to music tend to concentrate more on their studies, and their academic performance is better than students who listen to music while studying. Thus, we went to investigate whether listening to music while studying can decrease students' academic performance because has been misconception about it.
Hi, and selamat sejahtera to my lovely lecturer, Miss Shahira, and my fellow friends. I am Tarshinee, and I'm going to continue with my part by telling you guys what is my team's research objectives and research questions. So, research objectives usually help readers to know the purpose of conducting this research. Okay, so the objective of our research is to investigate what are the students' perceptions towards studying while listening to music among UNICEF Foundation in TESOL students aged 18 to 21 years old. Another objective is to identify the positive effects of academic performance among UNICEF Foundation in TESOL students within the same age group when they are listening to music while studying. Next, research questions. Research questions usually help researchers to extract what are the outcomes that they can find by the end of their study. So, in our research, the research questions are: what are the students' perceptions towards studying while listening to music among UNICEF Foundation in TESOL students aged 18 to 21 years old? And then, what are the positive effects of academic performance among UNICEF Foundation in TESOL students aged a group 18 to 21 years old when they are listening music while studying? Okay, then I will continue with 4.0, research gap and significance. What is research gap? Research gap is an emptiness that didn't fulfilled by other researchers. Therefore, as a researcher, you want to fulfill that emptiness by conducting the research. As you can see in our topic, universally, researchers have done their research on the negative effects of studying while listening to music, especially in context to losing concentration, taking a long time to complete a task, and failing in their academic performance. Nevertheless, not much research has been done on the positive effects of it. Also, not much researchers have conducted the research at UNICEF Malaysia among the foundation in TESOL students. Therefore, this topic was chosen by us to examine the students' perceptions and the positive effects of academic performance among UNICEF Foundation in TESOL students within the age of 18 to 21 years old when they are listening to music while studying. So, as you can see, this study actually benefits teachers and students. For example, this study will give exposure to the teachers of the benefits of listening to music while studying, so that teacher will encourage the students to listen music while studying, so that they will be able to adapt to the learning environment and focus more in class. As you can see, students tend to feel stressed and have feelings of depression whenever there's a class. So by encouraging them to listen music while studying can actually help them to focus more and lose the stress and depression. It will also make students to memorize better and conduct comprehension without any stress and depression feelings during any lecture or study. Therefore, this shows that this study will contribute to the role of educators and students to have better academic performance. So that is all from me. So next, Emran will going to explain about 5.0. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Emran, and I'll be talking about the limitation of the study and the methodology. So the limitation of the study, it is only involved in UNICEF Foundation in TESOL students. In fact, the community that we have chosen is so small and not solid enough to represent the whole UNICEF society. So the result or findings of this mini research should not be seen or accepted as the whole UNICEF Foundation students or the whole UNICEF community at least. And this limitation exists is because the limited time to expand our participants was so short, so we couldn't expand more of our participants throughout the whole UNICEF society, and it was only involved below 30 participants, and there was an age restriction. Only the age of 18 and 21 years old was chosen for our mini research and to find the result and findings about their perceptions and how they feel about listening to music while studying. So for the methodology, for the participants and settings, there were only 12 students from UNICEF Foundation in TESOL students that was aged 18 and 21 years old that took these questions. And they were all from UNICEF Bestari campus, and the data collection procedure that we use was quantitative method using questionnaires and several questions in 5 categories. There is general questions, types of music, their perception of music, study environment, and academic performance was asked for them to answer for our result and finding. So for the first question about the general question is, are you categorized in the age group of 18 and 21 years old, yes or no, and are you Malaysian or non-Malaysian, and some other question about their background information of the participants. And for the student perception of music and what type of music did they listen to, is what kind of music do they listen to, pop, K-pop, rock, or others. And the perception question is, music helps them to release stress when studying, and some other question related to their perception towards music. And for the academic performance and the study environment that we ask is that I'm able to answer questions while listening to music, and some statement that we give so they can answer how they feel about the statement. Do they strongly disagree, or agree, or strongly agree about the statement that we give them? And the academic performance question, we ask them, what's your current CGPA are? Then we can see how their standards and levels are while using music or did not use music while studying. And we also ask them, do you study better with or without music? So we can see which participant actually used music and felt it was better or did not help them in study while listening to music. So that is it for methodology and limitation of study. So thank you for watching.
So I'm going to be talking about the results and discussions of this mini research proposal. So first off, the background information of the respondents are, the participants are, that we have chosen are 18 to 21 years old, and they are from UNICEF Malaysia. They are from semester 2 of foundation in the TESOL program. Moreover, we use random sampling to choose our participants to fill up the questionnaires. So the participants age are from 18 to 21 years old. And based on our questionnaire, there are 12 participants who answered our questions, and all of them are 100% categorized in the age group of 18 to 21 years old. We have chosen this category because of the average age of students who are pursuing foundation at UNICEF Malaysia is between 18 to 21 years old. And the participants' native details, they are all 100 Malaysian citizens. It states that our participants are 100 Malaysian citizens. In fact, we chose this country because there seems to be a lack of research conducted on Malaysian people, especially in this topic. Furthermore, this research is conducted in Malaysia. Therefore, we chose Malaysians as our participants since the majority of students at UNICEF are Malaysians. So the participant studies background, they are all from UNICEF Malaysia and our foundation in TESOL. All of our participants are from UNICEF Malaysia, and they are studying foundation in TESOL. This research has been conducted at UNICEF Malaysia among the foundation is TESOL students. As researchers, we chose them to be our participants due to the limited time that was given to us to conduct this research. In fact, we are also UNICEF students, therefore it was convenient for us to look for the participants at our campus within the time given. So the participants' ability in multitasking is that 41.7% of the students are not able to really multitask while studying because each individual has their very own learning style. And so as a result, every individual is a different type of learner. Nowadays, students' habit are to multitask while studying. Moreover, the result above shows that a bigger percentage of the students are able to multitask while studying, which is a 58.3%. This is due to the fact that maybe they are able to comprehend and understand much better when they are listening to music while studying. Music also potentially helps them to be motivated in learning. The students' perception towards studying while listening to music among UNICEF Foundation intensive students aged 18 to 21 years old. So the types of music that they prefer listen to is the questionnaire reported that 35% of the students chose pop, 60.7% K-pop, 9.3% indie, 8.3% rock, slow music, lo-fi, and 1% of R&B and jazz. Therefore, it shows that most of the participants choose between these two genres, which are pop and K-pop, because somehow pop can help them to boost their energy because of its beat vibe. Meanwhile, K-pop is a craze among the students where they can repeatedly listen and sing along, so that it will keep them to be more cheerful and less bored while studying. Ziao stated that for most people, music has been tuned frequently in their environment as a major attachment in their daily routine. They also mentioned that music is also capable of modifying feelings, alternating habits, and influencing work accomplishment and commitment. So their perception of music in releasing stress when studying is when we give them a statement in which it says music helps me to release stress when studying. Hence, the graph shows that there is no majority answer to it. However, 33.3% of the students feel natural toward the statement, while 33.3% agree, and also 33.3% also strongly agree. This shows that listening to music while studying actually helps our participants to release their stress. Indeed, music is a tool where it calms our mind and stimulates our feelings. Students also tend to be stressed when there's a long duration class or a tough subject. So that is why students try to relax by actually listening to music in class to prevent them from getting a mind block. If students get a mind block, well, then their minds will be hindered gaining knowledge at that moment. In fact, there are many ways of relieving stress, and one of them, which is the most known by everyone, is listening to music. So their perception of music in concentration is that music helps them to focus better, or vice versa. Majority of the participants would rather listen or not listen to music while studying, as it might be distracting for them while doing certain work of studying. Consequently, this graph shows that the perceptions of music in concentration, it states that they found out that music helps them to focus better, or vice versa. It also shows that 41.7% of the participants felt neutral with the statement, 33.3% voted to agree, and 60.7% responded that they strongly agree. Lastly, one of the participants strongly disagrees with the statement. Clearly, it shows that the majority of the participants would rather listen or not listen to music while studying, as it might be distracting for them while doing their work or even studying. So it highly depends on the individual and their very own type of learning style to increase their academic performance. The positive effects of academic performance among students within the same age group of 18.21 when they are listening to music while studying. So the effects on how music makes them capable to answer question is that the majority of this shows that they are capable of answering question while listening to music, because somehow music helps them to focus by preventing them from being distracted by any other interferences, such as environmental distractions such as background noises, radio, television, etc., and social media. Where For this reason, the graph above reported that 25% of the respondents voted to disagree, while 60.7% for neutral, 50% for agree, and 8.3% voted for strongly disagree. The majority of this shows that they are capable of answering questions while listening to music. This implies that listening to music actually helps them to answer questions better due to the fact that music helps them to focus by preventing them from being distracted by any other interferences, just like I mentioned earlier. However, three respondents disagree. Well, maybe this is because they prefer not to listen to music while while answering questions or studying, as maybe even the music itself could distract them from focusing. So next, I'm going to talk about effects on how our participants are able to focus and think well with the music. So the participants were basically given a statement where it states, "I am able to focus and think well with the music." Thus, the graph shows that 33.3% of the participants strongly agree and feel neutral towards this statement. Then 8.3% agree while 25% disagree. The majority strongly agrees because students are normally adapted to the classroom environment where there won't be any interference during the lecture. However, another majority felt neutral because it depends on the subject and the learner itself. Some of them, some of the participants disagree because they are able to cope well with music when they are concentrating and thinking. Truly, this shows that music does help them in some way to think well and focus, but it can also in any way distract them for the other participants as well. So I'm going to talk about effects on how music can change thinking. So basically, the participants were given a statement where it states, I am able to think while listening to music. So the majority of the answers were 41.7% of an unbiased response about how they feel with the statement. Then 25% of them agreed to it, 60.7% participants. So I have disagreed with it. So this shows that the majority are able to think while listening to music. This happens because sometimes music can be a device to actually help a person to think well as they are calm at that very moment. Meanwhile, it depends on the type of some that can make them think, such as pop songs. So they might sing as they think the answers, which make them boost their performance in studies. However, Xiao stated that slow jam is known as the smooth sound that is very pleasant to be heard, while fast track music actually makes them feel more emotive. They also stated that a vital atmosphere in music frequently connected to joyful moments. However, the slight tone pieces are more connected to the despondent emotion, quoted by Xiao. So next, effects on how music help them to comprehend a topic significantly. So the respondents then replied to the statement saying, I am able to comprehend the topic that is being taught while listening to music. So the questionnaire then shows that 33.3% disagree, while the majority is 41.7% of the respondents feel neutral towards the statement. On the other hand, 16.7% agree, while only 8.3 strongly agree. Several students listen to music during online classes or classroom lectures. So based on the results, it shows that the majority are able to comprehend the topic that is being taught while listening to music. Some of them disagree because they are not really adapted to multitasking in the learning environment, as that is how most tutors educate them. This concludes that music somehow can help students to interpret well on the topic that is being taught. Effects on their focus while listening to music. So concentration is an important element in studying, where students will focus to gain some knowledge from the educators or other sources as well. Therefore, the last statement that was given to them is that I am able to focus better while listening to music. The results show that a percentage of 33.3% of respondents disagree, while 16.7% were okay with it. Were okay with both sides actually of agreement and disagreement. Meanwhile, 33.3% agree with it. On the other hand, only 16.7% strongly disagree. It states that some learners are actually able to concentrate well while listening to music and some actually not. This is a common thing among students, where some prefer to listen to music while studying and some really don't. The reason is that music can actually be helpful sometimes in concentration, while sometimes it just don't. And it really depends on the learner and the situation. So the effects on participants' CGPA result is that the statement shows that 83.3% of the majority of our participants got 3.51 to 4 flat for their CGPA result, and the remaining 60.7% got 3.0 to 3.5, and it shows that their pattern of learning with or without music would have impacted their CGPA result. It also shows that some students are able to perform well in their academics while multitasking. In this case, it is listening to music while studying indeed actually can help some students to perform well in their studies in some specific ways, only at the thinking, concentrating, or answering something. Students also will perform better when they are calm. However, when they feel stressed, they might have a mind block where they actually can't think, and then they will feel frustrated because pretty much they can't comprehend all the studies or they can concentrate on their assignments very well. So the effects on their concentration in class is that the statement that was given is, are you able to stay focused in class? And the majority of the respondents, which is 75% answered yes, and the remaining 25% responded with no. This shows that most of our participants do not actually have a problem staying focused in class while listening to music. Therefore, they are able to understand the lecture by using some tactics while where either one of them is listening to music, because music can actually be a tool for the classroom environment for students, and it might ease tutors' concern on students. Their preference of study environment is that we have asked the participants whether they can study better or without music. The results were 58.3% of the participants said that they are able to study better with music, while 41.7% said that they are able to study better with the music. So the majority above are able to study better with music. And this also shows that music can actually help them to boost their academic achievements by having a good study environment. Well, this is contrarily, those who answer without music are actually learners who study in a quiet environment. It is the same as the way they were adapted by the tutors in the classroom actually. Well, therefore, music can be helpful for some students only where it depends on their learning style and type of music they listen to. And particularly, different students have their very own different learning and study environment that they prefer to. Therefore, music can actually be a good tool for students nowadays. So the conclusion is that, in a nutshell, it can be concluded that, sorry, yeah, it can be concluded that students' perceptions towards studying while listening to music are that students believe that music helps them to somehow release stress and focus better when studying. It also showed that they like to listen to pop and K-pop music because the most while studying, which may help them to increase their performance. However, by conducting this research, we have determined the effects on academic performance when students are listening to music while studying. One of the effects is that music makes them capable of answering questions. Then it also helps them to enhance their thinking and interpret as topics significantly. Moreover, it also helps to elevate their focus. And therefore, studying while listening to music is positively affecting students' academic performance. This shows that educators should encourage their students to listen to music while learning in class or studying, so that students will be more, will be able to adapt to the learning environment better and they won't feel bored or stressed in class. Furthermore, students are also encouraged to listen to music while studying for better efforts in their academic environment with feelings of calm and ease and relax and soothe. On the other hand, music can also help some types of learners and also students who prefer to study with music. As a result, future research is needed in this topic to determine what types of learners can increase their academic performance while studying, and also at the same time by listening to music. So I think pretty much that is all from me. Thank you very much.